What's going on, everyone? It's Token back with a brand new videos. I did promise that a Showdown live would go up today. Depending on whether I get this up before work or not depends on when exactly this goes up. So hopefully it's not really late at night and I did make it in time before I had to go to work. I'm really busy running a few errands before recording this, and unfortunately I'm running short on time now. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in into today's video. Thank you so much for your support. As always, it's greatly appreciated. And if you could leave a like if you enjoy the video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new, that'd be so appreciated for me, as it goes a long way with supporting the channel. Anyways, those guys, I have a fun team that I wanted to bring to you guys in today's Showdown Live. As I know we had double ducks, and I really didn't Preston Clark's double duck Utah Regionals winning team, and I really didn't showcase it as much as I really wanted to be completely honest. So sorry to Preston Clark for that, but I was so busy. And then now I feel like most of you guys are probably over it. You kind of want a different team, you want some different plays. You kind of don't want to look at double duck anymore, as now it's been used a lot. Like, people are using double duck a lot. So sorry about that. I wanted to feature that team a decent amount more, but I'm still very grateful that I was able to get him on the channel to thoroughly explain that team, and I was able to get a few games with the team, so that's good enough, or it's going to have to be good enough. Today though, we have a interesting team that does have a little bit of sand on it, as you can see. Gigalith team in its entirety is going to consist of Gigalith, Garchomp, Tapu Fini, Talonflame, Tapu Koko, and Celstilla. So pretty much what I was thinking with this team was I wanted to try out something a little different, and you'll see what that little different thing that I have going on is when we get to that Garchomp. That's pretty much what I was thinking with this team. And yeah, I'll try to explain everything as thoroughly as possible, but I really can't drag on, or I can't just go too in depth in explaining some of these Pokemon, considering that I am short on time, so my apologies for that, guys. Anyways though, to start with the team, we have Rockium Z, Sandstream, Gigalith, Rocking A, Moveset, a Stone Edge, White Guard, Heavy Slam, and Protect. I decided to Stone Edge Stab, hits things really hard. It's good with the Rockium Z. And I didn't really feel like I needed Rock Slide, considering that Garchomp already has Rock Slide. Heavy Slam, I really liked it for Tapu Lele, as when I don't have Heavy Slam, Tapu Lele is an issue for Gigalith, so like Heavy Slam for Lele. And then Wide Guard, because I like Wide Guard a lot, mainly for making sure that my own Garchomp doesn't EQ into my Gigalith, but as well as there's some double targeting moves my opponents do prefer to go for, so Wide Guard is just pretty nice to have for if a Ninetales comes in and thinks it's gonna blizzard my team, especially if I have Gigalith and Garchomp out on the field. Just a bunch of, and then obviously for opposing Garchomps as well, I like having Wide Guard, so my EQ still hits their Garchomp, but their EQ won't hit our Garchomp and Gigalith, so that's really cool. Very standard moveset. I mean, EV spread, just went 252 on HP, 252 in attack with a Brave Nature, and 4 in special defense. Didn't really feel a need for anything else. Moving on though, we do get into the main, what this team is centered around, and this is a Garchomp EV spread that I've used a decent amount. It's decently bulkier, and it takes like Ice Beams and things better, and I like that a lot for this set, as I really like setting up Swords Dance with this Garchomp, so it's best so that it can so it's best that it can tank at least one hit of things such as Choice Specs, Tapu Koko's Dazzling Gleam, and some stuff like that. Set up that that Swords Dance, Gigalith takes out Koko, and then we're in business. So pretty much I am going with, but as you can see, the main niche that this Garchomp has is that Bright Powder, equipped with also Sandveil. So it makes my Garchomp a little bit evasive. It's nothing crazy. Moves still hit it, but much more often than they don't. But it's definitely just an interesting little thing that I wanted to try out on Garchomp. So we have the Sand because of Gigalith, and then Sandveil, I can go into a little more depth with that. Sandveil increases your evasiveness, it multiplies it times 1.25, so that's cool. And then Bright Powder multiplies it by 0.9, so definitely makes it decently invasive, nothing crazy, but I like it. Bright Powder is not banned in VGC, so I thought, why not give it a try? No one's really given BrightPowder Garchomp like a legitimate try, so I wanted to give this a try, and it's been doing pretty well on the ladder, so I've enjoyed it so far with the entirety of this team to complement it. But yeah, I lead Gigalith Garchomp a lot, and I don't know, I like the combo a lot, especially for the current meta. Then we have a Wiki Berry Tapu Fini, I like Tapu Fini a lot because obviously for the notorious Tapu Lele and Drifblim combination, Tapu Fini is a good answer for those, considering that it sets a misty terrain so that Drifblim can't Will-O-Wisp a lot of threatening physical attackers to that duo. And Fini can't be O-code by either of those two, unless it's some like absurdly offensive choice specs Lele with Thunderbolt, and I still don't think that takes out Fini. So especially with our calm set, even though it's only 28 investment in special defense, Fini's special defense is already 130, so definitely is already really high up there. And then a lot of moves proc Fini's Wiki Berry, so then it gets itself back, and I like that a lot. Going with Swagger, it was originally like Hill Pulse, but I wasn't using Hill Pulse at all. I thought I'd want it to keep Garchomp healthy, but I wasn't using it at all, so I like Swagger a lot more. So I could Swagger into my Gigalith and Garchomp and Celstilla. Well, not Celstilla. Gigalith and Garchomp, and make them into even bigger offensive threats, especially if Trick Room's up for Gigalith, or if no Trick Room, then just making Garchomp more of an offensive threat than it already is. And it is a fully speed invested Garchomp, and the reason I wanted that was because, one, I'm running Swords Dance, so obviously I want to boost my own attack. And then, and then I want my Garchomp to be pretty fast so that it can outspeed opposing Garchomps more likely than not and hit them with that +2 EQ and take them out. So that's what I was thinking with Garchomp. Really good. And the rest of Fini, just Fini with Muddy Water. I really like Muddy Water in combination with my Garchomp set so that accuracy can get lowered further so that Garchomp becomes more evasive in return. So that's pretty cool. And then just pretty much stab options and Calm Mind so that Fini can still be a pretty hefty offensive threat if necessary. Then we get into Talonflame. And the reason I chose Talonflame over Arcanine was just because I'm not one of those people who's comfortable with having a bunch of Pokemon that aren't immune to ground on a team that's pretty centered around Garchomp. And this team's really centered around Garchomp. And I couldn't see myself using Garchomp well with Arcanine still on the team, so, and vice versa. So I decided that I would go with the one ground immune fire type in Talonflame in the format, and it's going to be Fire MZ, just because Talonflame lacks damage output often without the Z move. Haven't really felt it was necessary to go for it much, as Talonflame is more of a support Pokemon than an offensive. It's support my team with Tailwind, Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, and then just knocking out things like Kartana with Overheat. So I haven't really felt the need, but I just like it more than any other item. I didn't see any other item really helping my team. I guess that it could have went with some type of berry, but Talonflame's extremely frail, so I didn't really see the need for that. But yes, obviously Gelwing, so that at full health, Tailwind still is priority, so that's really nice, so that my Tailwind is even faster than Drifblim's, which is really cool since it is priority, so it's like a prankster Tailwind. Well, it is a prankster. It's kind of, well, it's not the ability prankster, but it's practically a prankster Tailwind. Then Taunt for things like P2, and Will-O-Wisp for lots of threatening physical attackers, things like Alolan Muck and stuff. And Overheat, obviously, to just obliterate things like Tapu Bulu and Kartana. And the EV spread is the same EV spread that I used way previously on Talonflame when I used it way in the past. It's Jake the Battler's Talonflame EV spread. Just think it's still really, really good. It allows Talonflame not to be O-coded by a Rock Slide, which I really, really like from Garchomp. So, and then the rest is a lot of other stuff, but that's pretty much the main point, is that you're not O-coded by Rock Slide, which is really cool, so that you can still get a Will-O-Wisp off if you make a poor prediction and you are Rock Slid, or if you for some reason have to switch in Talonflame. So I like that a lot. Then we get into our Tapu Koko, and the reason I really wanted Tapu Koko on this team is because, one, Torkoal Lilligant is kind of running around now after Ashton Cox was able to win the was it the Sao Paulo Challenge? I think it was. After Ashton Cox was able to win an internationals using Tapu Koko, Torkoal and Lilligant, I've been seeing a decent amount more Lilligants, and I've been seeing a lot more Smeargles as well. So I just really wanted Tapu Koko on the team because, one, it's really good. 2, I really like having an electric type, and then 3, I just really wanted an electric terrain so that I didn't have to be too worried about Spore and Sleep Powder, as those are just really annoying to deal with otherwise without electric terrain. So I decided I'd throw on electric terrain, and and then I just thought Tapu Koko also fed on the team well. So either way, I enjoyed its presence on the team. It's going to have a moveset of Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Dazzling Gleam, and Electric Ball, and it is going to be Choice Specs. I like Choice Specs because it obliterates Arcanine, and I don't really want my team being intimidated too much, even though obviously Gigalith and Garchomp still really threaten Arcanine. Arcanine's just a pain to deal with if it's going against any of the other 4 Pokemon, as Finny does not OHKO with Moonblast unless it's going to Calm Mind up, and still it depends on the Arcanine set. And then obviously it can Wild Charge Finny, can Wild Charge Talonflame. Coco doesn't deal with it the absolute best if it's not Choice Specs, and then Cell still absolutely hates them with Arcanine. So I just really want something that could not only really get some hefty damage off on Arcanine, but I just really thought Choice Specs Tapu Koko just fed on this team pretty well. So yeah, Tapu Koko's going to have the Choice Specs. Very standard EV spread of Timid with 252 in speed and 252 in special attack to still hit as hard as possible. But it's also going to have Electro Ball. And I thought Electro Ball was interesting. I actually took this idea from someone I faced on a ladder when I was initially using his team. I just had like a stupid filler move in like Sky Drop before that. What exactly I like about Electro Ball is that a Choice Specs Timid Electro Ball actually OHKOs Gigalith. Well, it OHKOs my Gigalith set, so it depends on the Gigalith's EV spread, but it OHKO'd my Gigalith set, and I thought that was really interesting for getting hefty damage on very slow Pokemon, as there's a lot of very slow Pokemon, and Talonflame is my only way of stopping Trick Room, which isn't the most reliable way of stopping Trick Room, so I thought it'd be interesting if I could maybe obliterate some of those slow threats before they were able to become more powerful on the offensive end once Trick Room is set up. So I like the idea of Tapu Koko having Electro Ball so it could get a huge chunk of damage off on things such as Snorlax, Gigalith, Torkoal, things like that that are really powerful under Trick Room and really slow. So obviously Electro Ball is going to do more damage to those slow Pokemon because it does more power the faster the user is than the target. So cool there, and then we get to the last and final Pokemon. This is kind of a standard Celestella's spread that I've been using a lot. I really like a lot of special defense investment just so that you take a lot of those special hits really well, like Thunderbolts from random things like Tapu Lele and stuff like that. And then when you get the special defense boost, then you really take special hits well. And still pretty offensive, 68 in defense to still take things defensively, not too bad. 4 in speed, just so that we outspeed no speed Celestella's, or just negative speed Celestella's. And 188 in HP because I had some EVs left over, and yeah, it just makes it more bulky, really nicely bulky. And the moveset's going to be Heavy Slime, Flamethrower, Leashy, and Protect. Celestella's just really helps against a lot of Trick Room teams, especially Snorlax P2 ones. It really helps against those two. Snorlax can't really do much. People don't really run Wild Charge Snorlax, so Snorlax can't really do much. And P2 can Thunderbolt, but especially after a boost, we eat those Thunderbolts up. So and we can just Leech Seed and really just get a lot of health back. So that's pretty much the team. I like it a lot. Leftover, Standard, Celestella, Choice Specs Tapu Koko, Fire MZ Talonflame, Wiki Berry Tapu Fini, BrightPowder Sandville Garchomp, the center of the team, and Rocky MZ Sandstream Gigalith. So not bad at all. Let's just get into a couple of games and see exactly what we can do with this team. Let's see what we can do. Not that team. And not that team either. Show all teams. There we go. Alright, now we'll get into... Oh man, I have to choose a name. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I was already signed in. Oh lord. Alright. Alright, our opponent has an interesting team because they have a Trevenant on their team as well as a Politoed with the Gyarados, not really a Golduck or anything, which is interesting. And then they have the Alolan Marowak, which is also a lower end pick. So a very interesting team on my opponent's end. I do think I kind of just want to lead with Gigalith and Garchomp, even though that's not the best for dealing with Trevenant. That might be the only issue with that, is that they don't deal with Trevenant well at all. Really don't have the best answer for Trevenant, and that is Abulu did give me a little bit of trouble on the ladder because you can support grass types pretty well to not be as threatened by a fire type like Talonflame. Arcanine's harder to deal with, but a fire type like Talonflame that has that flying weakness that just brings about so many other weaknesses that are pretty common, like electric and rock. So I feel like my opponent is going to lead with the Politoed or the Trevenant and try to get up Trick Room. Either going to lead with the Trevenant trying to get up Trick Room, or lead with the Politoed and it's like Scarf or something. So I'm going to lead with Gigalith either way. Gigalith is definitely being led. Then the $1 million question is, what else do I want to lead with though? I don't want to lead with Celstilla. I do think I will lead with Celstilla. I'll bring Garchomp in the back. And do I want to bring Talonflame? It really doesn't do much against a good maturity on my opponent's team. And it's really heavily threatened. So I'm going to bring Tapu Koko in the back. So we'll see exactly how this goes. My opponent actually leads with Gyarados and Tapu Koko. So we have a terrible lead. Talk about an absolutely terrible lead. This is like far from what I was expecting to be led. So yeah, pretty bad, pretty bad. I think I want to protect. Ah, God. Mega Evolution. Okay, that's pretty funny. I didn't know that this freaking layout calls the Z move a Mega Evolution. Okay, that is funny. Okay, so the interesting thing here is that my opponent can just double into Gigalith and likely take it out. That actually might be one of the best things that can happen for us, honestly, in a situation this poor. So I'm still just going to go for the Z move on Gyarados, even though I do think my opponent will double into Gigalith. I actually really think that they will do something like that. And just in case we don't live the double target, I do want to get a lead sheet off on Gyarados. If my opponent, nope, opponent goes for taunt, that's perfectly fine then. Yeah, and I'm going to obliterate this Gyarados. So that's cool. That's cool. Cool. Alright. So I guess my opponent's expected me to protect there. I didn't see any reason for me to protect, so I didn't protect. Now what I want to do is, I think I just want to, maybe I should Stone Edge, or do I just switch out? No, I'll just Stone Edge the Tapu Koko, and I'm going to switch out Celstilla into Garchomp. So I do predict a Thunder, yeah, some electric type move. We do get burned on Gigalith, so that really does suck, but Stone Edge it does decent damage. Not the best by any measure, but decent damage. Now I kind of really want to switch out Gigalith, so I'm going to switch out Gigalith, and I kind of want to go for a Swords Dance. Do I go for a Swords Dance? Maybe not. Trick Room can still get set up. Kind of do though. I'm going to protect and see what my opponent goes for. So I'll switch in Tapu Koko and see what my opponent goes for. Alright, so my opponent does have the Dazzling Gleam. And then goes for a Will-O-Wisp on Garchomp. So I'm glad I didn't just go for a Swords Dance. Very glad I didn't just go for that. That would have been a poor decision. So Trevenant's really slow, but unfortunately it does resist all my electric type moves, so Electro Ball doesn't seem like the smartest decision. I'm kind of hoping I can win a speed tie, and if I can win the speed tie and knock out my opponent's Tapu Koko with Dazzling Gleam, that'd be great. And I'm going to switch in Celstilla, so we do win the speed tie, and we do knock out Tapu Koko with Dazzling Gleam, so that's perfect. We will take a burn on Celstilla, but that's fine. That is fine. Because I have Flamethrower to hit the Trevenant, and okay, we have a Marowak coming in, which is one of the worst things that could have possibly came in. So I'm going to switch out Tapu Koko and go for Protect. We do take a Shadow Bone on the Gigalith slot, and my opponent does set up Trick Room. So good on their end, definitely good on their end. The slowest thing on the field though now is definitely going to be I'm going to switch in Garchomp. But slowest thing on the field's Gigalith. Stone Edge still does over half, and that's all I wanted. Flare Blitz, saw it coming. Chunks my opponent chunks it on health. Gigalith lives, but is going to die to the burn. So I'm gonna protect Garchomp from the Will-O-Wisp, I think, and just kind of let Marowak chunk its own health. Oh, we missed a Leech Seed though. Do we get Will-O-Wisp as well? No, a Horn Leech. Okay. Can we not miss that? Come on. Well, now there's no way. Shadow Bone and Horn Leech actually might take me out. At least I now know that Saltstill's the slowest thing on the field. I'm just gonna go for Earthquake and Leech Seed. Flare Blitz does come out. That should take out a lone Marrow. Yeah, it takes out its own self. So now I wish I would have just danced. Oh, the Will-O-Wisp misses the Will-O-Wisp misses. Do I go for Electro Ball? How much is that going to do to this? I really don't feel like calculating it. How much did Dazzling Gleam do last time? I don't think it did it much. Trevenant, oh, it did 33. That's good enough. That's good enough. So I'll go for Dazzling Gleam, and I am actually going to protect. Hopefully that wasn't the wrong decision. Yeah, it was the wrong decision. It's okay though. Opponent does get their berry back. I'm hoping these two could take it out. Ugh. Take it out. Oh my lord. It lives on like nothing, but I went either way since my opponent didn't set up Trick Room. I thought they'd set up Trick Room. That's crazy that Trevenant lived. That thing is more bulky than I thought. That was a very long game. I didn't expect it to take that long, but however, we'll get another game either way. Get one more game and then we'll call it quits. But yeah, I hope you guys like the team so far. That was definitely an interesting game with a pretty interesting team that my opponent had. It was a little uncanny, but it actually kind of worked not too bad. Can't think of the game-changing point in that game. I think it was when I was able to get rid of the... Can't remember. There was some Pokemon, not the Trevenant, not the Marowak. It's the Pokemon that I got rid of before that. Anyways, we get another game. And this opponent's going to have a much more standard team with Tapu Fini, Gigalith, P2, Arcanine, Kartana, and Tapu Koko. So looking at my opponent's team, I can see obviously a Tapu Koko Kartana lead, very notorious and very popular throughout the entirety of this format. I can also see like anything next to P2, pretty much anything next to P2 lead. So what exactly do I want to lead? I kind of just want to lead Gigalith Garchomp, but that's not the best for taking on Kartana, especially if my opponent leads Kartana Tapu Koko, then we could be in a tricky situation. But I can't always wide guard. Kartana's faster than Garchomp though, so that's the issue. That is definitely the issue. But then I can bring in. No, but Talonflame doesn't do much other than stop Kartana, so I really don't want to bring Talonflame. So let's see. I'm going to lead Tapu Koko and Gigalith, I think. I'm going to bring Garchomp in the back. I think I'd definitely bring Saltstilla just to deal with P2 because I really don't have the best answers for P2. Yeah, and Tapu Fini's pretty heavily pressured. And like I said, Talonflame doesn't do much in this one other than stop the Kartana. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Thunderbolt the Arcanine. Depending on its set, it should take it out. And I think I'm just going to Z-move the Tapu Koko. So Kartana comes in actually. I'll take it out since we are specs. Get the Volt Switch onto our Gigalith. And my opponent actually just forfeited once they realized that they lost Kartana to that Thunderbolt. So that is interesting, showing the power of Specs Tapu Koko. My opponent didn't even want to play in that game anymore, especially because they probably realized that they're going to have to switch something in on that Z move as well. So that's another lead combination I've gone to like a lot, is Tapu Koko and Gigalith, because they both Rock is a offensive typing that's not resisted by much, and what does resist it is kind of like Garchomp, which I can Specs Dazzling Gleam with Tapu Koko. So I do like that lead combination together of Specs, Tapu Koko, and Gigalith. Here though, we get another interesting team. Pretty much the only actually it's pretty interesting because it's going with the Drifblim, but without Lele and actually with Tapu Fini. So that's pretty interesting. And then it's going to have Metagross and P2 and Gigalith and Garchomp. So somewhat similar to our team, but not fully. Different Steel type and no talent, no Fire type, and then no Tapu Koko because of Drifblim. So looking at this team, I have my opponent can easily lead with the Fini Drifblim combination, but then that means that Drifblim can't Will-O-Wisp us. So I'm kind of fine with that. I'm not fully sure what I want to lead with. I kind of want to lead with Garchomp in case Metagross leads. I actually really want to lead with Garchomp in case Metagross leads, but I also don't want to lead Garchomp into a P2. So I'm going to lead Gigalith, Tapu Koko actually again, Garchomp in the back, and I think I actually will bring Celesteela again. I think I actually will bring Tapu Fini though. Yeah, because it takes on a lot of my opponent's team well. So my opponent actually leads with Tapu Fini and their Drifblim, so that's fine. We led with Tapu Koko, so I feel good about that. So I'm actually just going to obliterate this Drifblim. I don't care if it gets up the Tailwind. That's fine. Opponent switches in Garchomp. Tailwind goes up. Get rid of the Drifblim. And Fini comes back in. I'm going to go for a Wide Guard. My opponent can easily capitalize on that by going for the Z move, but they might not know I have Wide Guard. Actually, it doesn't make sense for them to, for my opponent to go for, What else did my opponent likely bring? Alright, it doesn't make sense for my opponent to EQ into their own Fini. So I'm actually gonna switch in Fini on the on the Gigalith slot, and then I'm gonna switch in Garchomp. I'm gonna pull a double switch. I don't like the position either we're in. Oh no, my opponent went for Swords Dance. That was actually the last thing I wanted to see. That was the absolute last thing I wanted to see. So I'm going to Moonblast and Protect. So we'll see what my opponent went for. Z move into Fini likely. Yep, alright. And I have to bring in Gigalith considering that my opponent still has Tailwind up, so I have to bring in Gigalith so I can Wide Guard considering Tailwind's still up. It's going to be tough to win because of that missed prediction on my end. Very smart play from my opponent. I did just Wide Guard, so my opponent wasted their own last turn of Tailwind, but I guess it doesn't really matter because they're going to get like pretty much a free kill on our Garchomp. Oh, we live on 4% because of the extra bulk that I have in my Garchomp, so that's cool. It's definitely cool. Yeah, I doubt this Garchomp has any non-double targeting moves, so I'm just going to go for Wide Guard again. And I am going to go for... Or my opponent can just switch out. It's just an interesting situation. They can just switch out into Fini, which would make me very, very sad. And then I have to lock my Tapu Koko into some type of move, and I'd want to lock it into something like an electric type move, but then there's Garchomp, so yeah, this is going to be pretty tough to win. I'm still going to Wide Guard. I can't see any reason why not Wide Guard would be okay, and we get a Fire Fang miss luckily on our end. And then obviously I don't want to EQ into my own Gigalith, so that's another reason why Wide Guard seems like the play. Alright, so my opponent, we know my opponent's... Actually, I think my opponent likely won a Speed Tie. I'm still going to wide guard and EQ again. Garchomp's at a small amount of health now, which is really good for us. And Porygon 2 does just recovers. That's fine. It just sucks so bad that I have to lock my Koko into Dazzling Gleam. That's what I think is going to lose me this game. Unless we get like a Stone Edge crit, that's the only way I could see us even having a slight chance. Opponent likely just protects Garchomp here, knowing that I still have to lock myself into Dazzling Gleam. And they do just protect Garchomp, so smart move on their end. Get a nice beam into Koko to get it a little bit more worn down. Smart play here, though. We can at least get the double knockout, so there's a slim chance. But it's very slim. We might be able to do something, though, I think, just because it'll be a 2-on-1. Yeah, I think we can definitely still win this game. It sucks we got a crit on the P2. I'd much rather have got a crit on the Finny. Much rather get a crit on this Finny. Alright. So Stone Edge and Dazzling Gleam. That is the plays. Decent damage. Scald on Koko. We don't live that. We do hit the Stone Edge, and we take out Finny. Let's go. Let's go, guys. And that brings us to 1604, which is perfect. Awesome. So, yep, I feel like we pretty much displayed the team pretty well, honestly. I enjoyed the games that we were able to get. Hope you guys did enjoy watching this as well. Like I said, I am short on time, so I can't really do much else, even though this ended up being a longer recording than I even expected. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy the team. I'll be bringing it on to the Battle Spot ladder for our VGC Climbing the Ladder series for the rest of this week, hopefully. It's just been so hectic with me starting this second job. It's been really hectic trying to adjust and just making sure that I don't under prioritize YouTube, even though I sometimes come home really tired, and sometimes I wake up decently tired, and it just takes me a while to get into that mode of actually being like ready to record, because I don't know, some people think recording's not, it doesn't take much energy, but it really does. Anyways though, thank you guys so much for supporting. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow on the VGC Battle Spot ladder. Definitely be looking out for that episode of VGC Climbing the Ladder. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed the team. I'm gonna get the heck out of here though. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the first episode of VGC Climbing the Ladder with this team. For now, though, peace out.